Hello, friends. The information shared in this podcast is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered medical, mental health, legal, or professional advice. Please be advised that during this episode, topics may be difficult for some listeners. Please take care and listen at your own pace. Please remember, you are not alone and help is always available. Welcome to the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle Podcast, where we explore how slowing down with intention leads to greater clarity, better health, deeper relationships, and a more meaningful life. I'm Kendra Chapman, your host, and today's episode is especially meaningful because I'm joined by somebody that I've known since high school years, my friend, Scotty Daniels. It's been at least 15 years since we've seen each other, but talking to him in this episode was like we had just seen each other at the last bocce ball tournament, which is a fundraiser for a great cause hosted at our alma mater, Cardinal Gibbons, in Raleigh, North Carolina every year. So if you want to check out the bocce ball tournament, I'll make sure all that information is in the show notes as well. It's a fun time. And Scotty is very competitive, and we're always talking about sports. Life has taken us on different journeys. Now I'm in Tennessee. He's still in North Carolina, but living at the beach. But one thing we've both learned is that healing isn't something that we can rush. In this honest and heartfelt conversation, Scotty shares his history of navigating unimaginable loss, overcoming addiction, and embracing therapy and spirituality, while also discovering that peace isn't found by escaping life's challenges. It's found by walking through them one intentional step at a time. We talk about grief, boundaries, vulnerability, and the importance of community, and why slowing down can become one of the greatest acts of self-care. Whether you're moving through a season of loss or simply searching for more peace in the middle of life's busyness, I believe you'll find hope and encouragement in Scotty's story. So here's my conversation with Scotty Daniels. Scotty, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Scotty and I were friends in high school. It was a very small school, Catholic school. I think we had, 60 people in our graduating class?
Yes, and 3 of them were foreign exchange students.
That's right. That's a good point.
I kept in touch with Emma. I actually went to England and saw Emma in 1999. She was in England, so I visited her for like 2 weeks. Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
I miss Cardinal Gibbons. We were a tight bunch because there was only 60 of us. And I think we were the
Yeah, it was a
last
small
small
group.
class. Because now it's like Cardinal Gibbons is huge now.
Yes. It's a totally different school on a different campus.
Great in every sport. They have a football field.
Yeah, we didn't have football.
Yeah, well, we had football, I think, our junior year. Then we played at Athens Drive, but we were horrible. I remember we lost to Ravenscroft 70-0 in the rain. Yeah.
And they had football back in the day.
Right. And their teams wouldn't play us, I guess,
That's
because we
right.
had African American people on our
Yes.
team, which is, think about it these days, it's crazy. And still racism is still big now these days. We've come a long way, but still, we've got a long way to go.
Yeah, there's definitely some history there with Cardinal Gibbons. So we were one of the first to integrate, but nobody wanted to play us. That's right. Well, now that you guys have a little bit of an idea that we were in Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, Scotty, on this show, we talk about all things going slow. So do you mind just sharing a little bit about how you go slow to go fast?
Of course. So over the past 4 years, my life has been chaos. Like just chaos, just because my dad passed away from cancer November 2021, which we knew was coming. So my dad was fighting small bowel cancer for 3 years. So after the last surgery, the Hail Mary surgery, he had it at Wake Forest University. We just knew, it was his time to go. But then that was November of 2021. Then in May of 2022, my brother and his wife were going to move down from New Jersey to be near me and my mom in Wilmington. The day that they're going to move down here, my sister-in-law had a massive heart attack and passed away. And then a few months later, on August 19th, I was watching TV in the living room. I was actually watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I just watched Pressure Your Luck with my mom. She went outside. She had a stroke right in front of me. And we had to put her on life support because, you put them on life support just because you think there's going to be a miracle. You have to wait a couple days. I needed people to come see her. My birthday is August 21st. So we took my mom off of the life support on August 22nd. So me and my brother lost three of the most important people in our lives at the time in a 9-month span. And my life was chaos. Everything was going so quick. And I wasn't, when you're grieving over one person, it takes time. So I was grieving over my dad. But then when my sister-in-law dies, now I'm not done grieving with my dad. I have somebody else. And then my mom dies. I was like, my life was just pure chaos. And my brother got sick for a little while, and I was the executor of the estates. And here I'm dealing with all these deaths. And on top of that, I've been dealing with a drug addiction issue since like 2012. So on top of that, my life was just chaos. But I went through a rough time the past 4 years. I wasn't the best me because I just didn't know how to go through life, A, without my dad, then B, without both parents, and then C, having to take care of my brother because he just lost his wife. And everything was put on my shoulders. And, I wasn't the best me, and I acted out of character, and I was literally just trying to survive, grasping on the straws every single day. But that being said, last time I went to rehab was in last May. I've been clean since June of 2025. So I've been clean. It'll be a year now.
Congratulations.
The last thing my dad is like, can you just please be healthy? Not for me, but for you. So I feel like I'm finally living my promise to my dad. And so now it took a while, but now I feel like I'm at peace. I'm slowing down now. I'm not like, I basically, after my parents died, my mindset was, how long do I have until I see my parents again? Because you just miss your family. Like, they're not there. And but now my thinking is, how much life do I have to live? I have a good life to live, and then I'll see my parents eventually. You know what I mean? So I've really, like, this past year, since I got my addiction under control, I've really slowed down in life. The chaos is now like, it's still, there's no chaos anymore. It's just like I've just slowed down. I don't let the little things bother me. I guess I tell everybody I'm at peace now with my parents being gone. I'm always going to miss them. But, God needed them for some reason, and there's a bigger picture out there. I don't need to know the bigger picture right now. We'll find it out when I'm old and gray. You know what I mean? Well, I'm starting to turn gray, but like when I'm old. But I'm just really like
Yeah.
at peace, and I've slowed down my life. Yeah,
Yeah. So you talk a little bit about your mindset and how you've switched to thinking that you'll see them one day, so you're going to
right,
live life now.
right.
What got you there? How did you get to that peace?
Well, first, I did a lot of grief therapy, and I tell everybody needs therapy, no matter what. Sooner or later, you need therapy. And it's like, people like a lot of people, like men or whatever. My brother's like, well, I don't need therapy. I'm a man. Well, that's good. He's like, you're kind of my therapist, Scott. I was like, well, that's not how this works. You need like you need like a Switzerland to talk to. You know what I mean? Just talk through it. I went through therapy, and then, I'm just thankful that I made it back to rehab. It was my 5th time there, and I completed the program. But something this time just clicked. It just clicked in my head like, okay, I've had enough of the chaos. And therapy has really got me to the place where I am right now, especially grief therapy. You don't know, a lot of people are suffering for grief, and as men, you're not supposed to show your emotion, but like we're able to cry and show emotion for a reason. God let us cry and show emotion for a reason. So I'm a big crier. I don't know, like you just have to let your emotion out. If you don't let your emotion out, it's just gonna ball up on you. But it's just therapy. Just I pray every day now. I read the Bible twice this past year, and whatever your higher power is, I just feel so connected. You know, and I honestly, after I read the Bible, like the one horrible thing I said to my dad one time, we are talking about the Bible, and I was going to Catholic high school. My dad almost he looked at me like, "We paid for your Catholic education." I told him, I was like, "I'm not sure if I really believe in the Bible. I feel like the Bible is the
Mm.
National Enquirer." That's what I told my dad. So I
Mhm.
took that back from my
Mhm.
dad. But now, like, I read the Bible, and it just, for me, I don't know about you, but for me, it just all makes sense. And just gave me some kind of like warmth in my heart. Like, there's something out there. My parents are in good hands until I see them again. So between the Bible, therapy and just praying every day, I'm just at peace, and my life has calmed down and slowed down. Yeah,
That's great. I love that you are doing a little bit of the praying, the reading the Bible,
right,
and just trying to find some peace in your day.
right.
When you get to a point in your day where you feel frustrated, what's your
Mhm.
go-to strategy?
Um, as funny as this sounds, in rehab, they tell you about just getting away and just breathing, like breathing exercises. Or I'll just say a little prayer, or I'll go outside and I'll scream in my pillow, or I'll go hit a tennis ball. I'll just do something just to get that energy out. Now I'll have days where I'll have like a grief day. 2.5 years ago, I would have like a grief day, but I'd lay in bed for like it'd be 4 or 5 days. I just couldn't get out of bed. But nowadays, if I have a grief day, if I'm feeling off, I'll just stay in bed for like the morning or the afternoon. And then if people know, like, if I'm in bed, I'm okay. That's just my way of dealing with it. Let me just get away from everybody, stay in bed, cuddle the dog, just lay with my boyfriend, whatever. But I'm just like, I just need that time. But I've come a long way because it was like, again, I would be in bed for 4 or 5 days, not eating, not nothing, just like with the blinds closed. I'd just be watching television. I just wouldn't be there. But now, it lasts a couple hours. So I'm thankful I'm at that point
Yeah,
in my life that, it doesn't, my grief doesn't overwhelm me now. I could get through it.
right.
Yeah.
So you've gone from a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5 days, down to a couple of hour reset.
Right.
That's progress. That's
Right.
huge.
And grief is a monster. It's hard to explain. Like I'll be fine for like a month, but then it's like all of a sudden you just have like this wave. It used to be, I like to say it used to be like a tsunami, but now it's just like a little, I don't know, like a sun shower or something. Just like a little bit of uckiness there, but like, you just gotta battle. You gotta push through because there's no other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weather event. It comes up every now and then,
Right.
especially I'm sure around holidays and birthdays and special days of the year.
Right, and dates, like a Mother's Day, or like I was feeling like horrible, like what was it? It was like a month ago, and I was like, I don't know why, and then I realized, then I went on Facebook. I try to stay off Facebook when I'm like grieving or like there's like a holiday or something because I love that everybody gets to spend it with their family and like Mother's Day. Oh, I love you, mom, whatever, and like I'll post, but I won't scroll. You know what I mean? But it's like dates for me and like unexpected dates. Like last month. I was like, God, I just feel weird today. And I don't know what's going on. Let me just stay in bed for a couple hours. Let me just watch some Bravo. And then I went on Facebook and then I was like, it was like the 10-year anniversary of my parents' 50th wedding anniversary that we had a party for them in Pennsylvania. So it's like, I don't know if it's I didn't even realize that was the date, but like I guess it's just my mind knew it was the date, but I didn't know it was the date kind of thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
hits you. It's
yeah.
just subconsciously. Yeah.
Your body remembers. Yep.
Right.
Hmm.
Subconsciously it just hits you. And I was like, oh, that's why I'm not. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like that you've done quite a bit of work on yourself. I mean, I'm thinking like
Right,
you started here, you're all the way back kind of to center again. It's a full
right,
circle moment, I think, for you,
mhm,
where you've you're on the other side of this, which is
right.
amazing.
Yeah, and I like this past year was last year was not a good year for me. I was just wasn't the best me, and everybody knows I wasn't the best me. And I've really come a long way this past year. And like I thought to myself, I cannot start using it again because I don't know if it might be the last time. Like I don't know if I'll be able, if I honestly think if I start using it hardcore again, like I'm not gonna make it. Like I'm gonna die. Like I know it's gonna be the end of me because I just don't have like the strength to like. I mean, I probably have the strength, but I don't know, it's just you never know. Addiction's a monster, and it'll rear its ugly head to you, and, I just don't know if I'll have the opportunity to get back to rehab, or some people don't make it back to rehab, some people don't make it back to meetings, some people just don't make it. I don't want I know if I showed up in heaven right now, my mom would be pissed off because they want me to be strong and have a happy life, and, so I just know I just can't use it again because I think this next time will get me, just to be honest with you. You
Mm.
know? Yeah.
Well, I think your higher self is telling you that.
Right.
That's your knowing, your inner knowing.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm in such a
yeah.
better place. I just have so much to live for. There's so much ahead. And like, again, I'm only 50. And I love how we say we're only 50. Like 50 when we
Well,
were in high school, like, oh my God, that's so old. But now I'm like 50. I was like, that's not too
yeah.
old. Like,
No, it's
whatever.
not. No,
Yeah.
especially now, and 50 looks like 30. So
Right, and I'm glad and when I was in high school, I looked really young, and when I went to college, I looked like I was 12 years old, but now I'm kinda liking it because I don't think I look
I know.
50.
I know.
You don't look 50 either, but, like, I'm thankful now that I look
Yes.
young when I was in but when I went to college, I looked like I was 13. Nobody wanted to hang out with the 13-year-old at first, until they knew I was, like,
Mhm.
18.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Right.
Our youth was, something that we didn't appreciate at the time. I
No,
know.
yeah, everybody wants to grow up and be an adult, and, like, adulting is not sometimes it's just not fun. We
No.
don't realize how good we had it, you know what I mean?
No, I know. And I don't know
Yeah.
about you, Scotty, but when I was and I mean, I'm calling you Scotty because that's what I called you in high school. Is that
Yeah,
how you
that's fine,
still
yeah.
prefer? Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's fine.
when we were in high school, I was very serious. I didn't really have I mean, if I had fun, it was here and there, but when I went on to
Right.
college, I was still very serious. Like, I feel like I'm an old soul and I did old first. So now I need to have some fun. I don't know
Right, you
about
gotta let
you.
loose a little bit. Yeah, let loose a little bit. But when I was
Yeah.
younger, when I was like everybody 'cause I didn't and that's another thing about the addiction thing. I didn't drink till I was 21. I had, like, a shot when I was, like, a sophomore in college. I was like, "Oh, I can't drink. I'm a good Catholic boy." And I couldn't have a fake ID. Nobody was serving me because I looked so young. But I was in college. I wasn't in college for 4 years. I extended a little bit because I went from Western to NC State to be in meteorology. Yeah, but then when I went to state, I was supposed to be a second semester, sophomore at Western, but only one class transferred over to NC State, so I was back to being a freshman. And, like, back when you're 19, you go back, like, for 2 that's a, like it's like, I did all that work for what, you know what I mean? Then my brother was in a car accident while I was in NC State. I took some time off, and I ended up just going back to Western Carolina and finishing. And then I was 21 when I went back, and, everybody so then I mean, I drank a little bit, but I wasn't like the party animal, and that's another thing about addiction. I didn't drink till I was 21. I didn't smoke pot. And then, somebody offered me drugs at work one day, and it just started. And I still honestly can't believe to this day that, like, me, Scotty Daniels, who didn't drink till he was 21, who's a good little Catholic boy, did everything right in high school, did everything right in college, have an addiction problem, but you just don't know, you know?
Yeah. 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 And it's scary because I know friends in college who, they weren't the ones that were overdoing it. They were
Right,
really very cautious. And then they had
right.
one bad night, and
Yep.
that's scary. Can be
Thank you for
very
it
scary.
something. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you just never know, and, like, they say,
Mhm.
addiction, they're saying it's hereditary. There's, like, a hereditary gene, which is possible because my parents me and my brother are both adopted. We were both adopted when we were
Mhm.
3 months old. We're 4 years apart. We don't have the same birth I call it birth person because 'cause they're not my parents. My
Mhm.
parents are my parents, but, we're complete
Right.
opposites. He's 6 foot tall, I'm 5'7". I'm athletic, he's not. He's straight, I'm
Yeah.
gay. It's like we're complete opposites, but,
Yeah.
I my parents are very supportive, of me being gay. They just wanted me to be happy life, and then very supportive after I told them I did have an overdose. That's how they found out I was, had ac well, actually, yeah, I had an accidental overdose, because I was in a relationship and it's just a whole thing about I was sexually assaulted by my one boyfriend, and then I overdosed. I went to the hospital, and my parents found out I used drugs, and I'm glad they found out because a lot of people, when you're in addiction, you're embarrassed. The bad thing about me is I would go to work and stuff, I'd be high, nobody would have any idea because I'm always like, you know me, I've always been energetic, been happy. That's the scary part about addiction. People don't know what you're going through, and sometimes you want people to reach out to you, be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Instead of you reaching out to them. But like, so I'm kinda glad that happened that way, and my parents are fine with me, they supported me, and, like, that's why I'm trying to do my best because that's one of the last things my dad I promised my dad, I was like, "I'm gonna try to get as healthy as I can." It's taken me 4 years, but, like, it's a journey, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we put our fingers and toes into the spiritual realms around
Right,
here in this
right.
podcast. Do you believe that your parents are looking down on you and checking in?
100%. So, I spent the last 2 nights with my dad at hospice. He died while I was there. I wrote him a letter while he was, like, taking his last breath or whatever, but, I did tell my dad before he passed away, I was like, "Dad, I know this might sound crazy, but, like, whenever you get to heaven, if I ask you for a sign, will you just send me a sign that everything's okay?" So, I'll ask my dad for a sign. My brother thinks I'm crazy, but, like, I'll ask my dad for a sign. I was like, "Dad, just I need you, whatever," and, like, one of his old cars that he used to drive would be, like I would see, or, like, the New York Giants would be on the television, like, something has to do with my dad would appear, and I was like, "Oh." My brother's like, "That's just a coincidence." I was like, "No, Kevin, I swear, I'll ask our dad for a sign. He'll deliver next 24 hours." Another thing is when I went to a rehab in Pennsylvania for a little bit, like years, right after my dad died. I went in June. My dad died in November, and there was like a Reiki. There's like a Reiki person, Reiki massage, Reiki person, but she also did the massages, whatever. She could also see spirits or talk to or see whatever. So she told me, she's like, did you lose like a father figure or whatever? And I was like, yeah. I didn't tell her anything about me. She has no idea about me. She's like, well, this person's always with you, and if you feel a tingle in your back, that means they're behind you, pushing you through life. So that being said, when my mom was passing away, when we were getting ready to take her off the life support, I was like, Dad, I need you now. I need you now. Whenever I ask for my dad, I'll feel like a tingle in my back, like he's with me. So I felt that. I'll feel like this weird tingle in my back, like he's pushing me through life. So I have like little signs like that that I know that they're with me, and like I'm trying to make them proud. And it's just that's another thing about them. I was like, I know they're always with me because they'll send me like signs, or my dad would always leave the cupboards open in the kitchen or the pantry open. I'll walk in, like the cupboard will be open. I was like, oh, hi, Dad. It's like little signs like that. I'm sure my roommate or my boyfriend or my brother might have left the cabin open, but when I walk in there, I was like, I
Yes,
see you, Dad. I see you, Dad. But I feel like they're with me 100% every single day. Yeah.
absolutely. I agree. I believe it too. Yeah.
Right.
They're always with us, but the fact that you're able to ask for a sign and they deliver,
Right.
that's amazing. That's great. Do
Right.
you write that down? Do you keep note of it just
Also,
to
I have a
keep track?
journal. I have a journal whenever I get a
Nice.
sign from my parents or whatever, or just like it's just weird because like if I ask my dad now, I was like, Dad, he seen me doing this podcast with Kendra, and I was like, Dad, I just need a sign. Send me a sign whenever you can. Make sure everything's okay. Like something tomorrow, something will appear from my dad. You know. Of course, my brother thinks I'm crazy. It's just coincidence. I was like, Kevin, I'm just doing whatever I can just to get by day by day. And if that, if I saw something on television that reminded me of my dad or my mom, our dad or my mom, I take it like that because it helps me further me in life. It just makes me smile for like a second.
Right. I mean, some
Yeah.
people see numbers or colors or hear
Hmm.
song or see a white feather. So it's great
Right.
that you have your sign from your dad. It's
Right.
cupboards and his favorite car.
Yeah. Some crazy. It's just crazy how something. It just. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I was like, well, am I having a stroke or am I having a heart attack? Because when you have a tingle on your left side, that's like this really like this thing in my back right behind my heart, like the woman said, just pushing me along in life. So yeah, it makes me smile. It makes me smile, like make me a little closer to my parents. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's your mom's sign? Does she have one in particular?
So the funny thing is I didn't ask for stuff. So she had a stroke. So I wasn't able to like talk. I mean, she had a stroke on the 19th. And then um I just sat with her or whatever and just one thing for my mom is like this another crazy sign. So if I ask her for a sign, she'll deliver sometimes, but it's mainly my dad's my go to. Um, but like so right after my mom, so my brother left me in the hospital when I was taking my mom off of life support. I guess he just couldn't whatever. But I was with my dad and with my mom because I figured they would be there with me to the last second. So I took my mom off the respirator. I just sat there for a minute, well, like 10 minutes, and I went out to at the hospital to go to go to the car, and I just sat on the stairs for like 15 minutes. I'm just crying, and I couldn't find the car. And so this older lady came up to me. She's like, "Oh, do you need some help?" I was like, "My mom just died. I can't find the car." And this old lady, she's like, "I'll go find your car for you." So she walking around with like the little clicker. It was my mom's car. She's like, she pulled the car up. She's like, "Sweetie, can I drive you home?" I was like, "No, like I'll be okay." So I just sat in the car for like a little while. So it took me like an hour to get home. We only live like 15 minutes from the hospital. So as I was leaving the hospital, when I saw my mom, I was like, "Mom, I love you, whatever." And she was gone, but like a tear rolled down her cheek. Okay. And so I'm sitting in the car, I open Facebook, and then my friend sent me this poem. She didn't know, nobody knew yet that my mom had passed away. So the there was a poem my friend sent me, like, whenever a loved one dies, when they're walking away to heaven, they turn around and they look at you and a tear rolls down their cheek because they're leaving you. And I was like, a tear literally just rolled down my mom's cheek. And this person didn't know my mom just died. So I thought that was a sign from my mom saying she's okay. You know what I mean? So it's like little things like that that just happened to me was I'm like, okay, they're okay. And I told my brother, I was like, if mom and dad didn't think we could handle life without them, they both wouldn't have left us. One of them was stuck around for a little bit longer, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, they knew you were gonna be ready to move on and go on by
Right.
yourself, but that they would be there behind you to help you.
Right, right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I know you would prefer to have them with you still in person,
yeah,
but at least you
100%.
know they're with
Yeah,
you anyway in spirit.
that's just like I said on Mother's Day. I was like, Mom, I know you're in good hands until I see you again. So.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So what's next for you? What is the next thing on your horizon?
sure. So I play in a sports league called Stonewall Sports. It's the LGBTQ and Allies League. We have volleyball, kickball, tennis, bowling. I played them all, but I've taken this year off. I didn't play sports for a year because I just needed to. Went through some stuff last year. I was not able to play for a while, but like I'm getting back into kickball in the fall. I'm I just started a part-time job. I'm just working at Subway just to get out of the house, just get going. But I'm waiting for a position to come open at Wilmington Treatment Center as like a entry level position. And I just think like Wilmington Treatment Center has given back to me so much. Like I would like to give back. I would like to give back, but like get paid for it. So that's my plan. I want to work at the Wilmington Treatment Center. I think that'd be good for not only to be on the other side of it, helping people, but like it's gonna also help me in my sobriety. So getting back into my sports, hopefully work at Wilmington Treatment Center, just like getting back into like going out, hanging out with my friends. Cause like the past 4 years I've been like a homebody because I guess I just felt like safe and secure in the house. And I just didn't have I'm just not the same person I was 4 years ago. And I'm just finally starting to find myself again. My heart's becoming full. And I just, I'm just trying to get back to I know I'm never gonna be back. I'm never gonna be back the person that I was when my parents were alive. But now I just feel like I could get to wherever I can just to be comfortable in life and just to give everybody the ray of sunshine that I am.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
coming back to yourself
Yeah.
and yeah.
And I'm in a relationship now. I didn't date anybody for like 14 years. And the thing is people are like, why aren't you dating anybody? Whatever. I was like, first of all, these past 14 years, I wouldn't have wanted to date myself. Like I was just not in a good spot for dealing with my addiction and especially the past few years with my parents going and stuff. But like now I'm at the place where I could open my heart again and like, I miss somebody off this like 2 years ago, the day I put my dog to sleep. I just happened to meet him at my friend's house and like we've been, we might not have like perfect relationship, but not everybody has a perfect relationship. We're still like it'll be 2 years in July, and we're just you're still getting to know somebody, and it's just like we have growing pains, but like it's just nice to know that maybe I think I've finally found my person. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
relationship, working at Wilmington Treatment Center, getting back into sports, and now we have our pit bull Blueberry. I love dogs, and she's just the highlight of my day.
Aw. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're on the other side of what
Right.
some might call the dark night of the soul. You went through a lot
Right.
of
Yes.
heartbreak and loss and
Right.
kind of had to work on yourself too. And now
Right.
I'm very proud of you that you didn't jump into a relationship when you
Right.
needed to work on yourself first. A lot of people
Right.
don't think that way.
Right, a lot of people will find somebody, like, in rehab, they call them rehab romances, and they don't work, and they say you
Mhm.
should be sober for a year to, when you find somebody. He also deals with, addiction issues, but he's been sober as long as I've been sober, and I told him the only way this is gonna work is if we both yeah,
And that's
so
great because you guys can keep each other accountable and support
right.
each other.
A part of recovery is there's some relapses. People when they relapse, they think, "Oh, I lost all this time of being sober." I was like, "No, you still have that time." Just so what
Mhm.
Aaliyah says, dust yourself off and try again, and you got to just
Mhm.
keep going because like
Yeah.
you got to keep going because if you don't keep going, it's not
Yeah.
good.
Right. Yeah. You gotta stay positive as much as you can. And
Right,
it's not about toxic positivity. It's about
right,
that mindset. You've got to shift
right.
and choose again.
Yeah, and my circle now is like, I still have my really good friends, but now I used to have a bunch of friends that were like, I would meet them in rehab or I'd meet them at like the behavioral health unit at the hospital. But like now I'm just, my circle's gotten smaller and I've lost contact with people. And then there's a reason I lost contact with them because I needed just strong people around me and I just need like a tight circle. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
not everybody is with you is like there for the right reason. And I was just taking on too much. I was taking on people would call me if they have an issue, but I cannot have like 15 people call me or relying on me for something. Because when I got to keep my cup full, as they say, and if I don't keep my cup full, then that's when I get into trouble.
Yeah, and you gotta protect yourself. You gotta put that boundary out
100%.
there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why
Yep.
I believe God has taken people out of my life, and I kept people in my life, and it's for a reason. So
Mhm.
I'm just thankful for that.
So you know how they say that there's people that come into your life for a season, a reason, or a
Right,
lifetime, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Scotty, do you mind a little coaching conversation for like
Uh,
15 minutes before I let
of
you
cou
go?
of course, of course.
Okay.
Coach away, coach away.
You're doing okay because I see Blueberry frolicking in the background. She looks very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, she loves we have a really big backyard, so she loves
Good.
it. She sprints back and forth every day. Yeah.
You just holler if we need to
Uh,
finish
no, we're
earlier.
good, we're good.
Okay.
She's done digging that hole.
All right. Okay.
Sure.
So, let's just slow things down for a moment. All right. I'm gonna do my go slow to go fast process. What's the most pressing thing on your mind right now?
The pressing thing in my mind is, how do I just keep my life less chaotic going forward? Because the chaos was, real. When you get in the chaos, you really don't realize you're in the chaos, and you just don't realize it, and then your whole life is chaotic, you know what I mean? I just need to learn how to keep things level, you know what I mean? Less chaotic.
Okay. Okay. So, if things were to be less chaotic,
Mhm.
what would you want that to look like for you?
Oh, I think, the less I it's like when you're in the chaos, it's like you have a hard time knowing how to get out of it. You know what I mean? I just like to come home and just, not have a lot of people call me or not, have any problems in the house or, any kind of, issues coming at me from, each side. Like, after my parents died, I feel like there's this issue coming north, south, east, west, all I mean, different directions, and I felt like I was in a fire. Honestly, I don't wanna cry, but, I felt like I was in front of a firing squad, and it was everything, and I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't get out, and, you're in survival mode every day. And I was doing things, I was grasping at straws, I was doing this, I was using just to get away from things, and you don't get away from things, you just I just kept feel like I was surrounded by constant, gunfire.
When you get home, it sounds like home is your sanctuary. It's where you feel
Now it
safe and
is.
cozy. Okay, now it is. That's good. Okay, so for that to look that way when you come home from work or from wherever you are out in the world and you
Right.
come back to the house, how can you keep it calm and cozy, no chaos allowed? What would be something that you could do to silence the noise?
One, I will, of course, go out and play ball in the yard with Blueberry, but also, I've come to after a certain time at night, I'll just put my phone on vibrate. I won't do any, social media. Social media is great, but I'm trying not to do social media on Sundays. I'm doing, 1 day a week. So I'm trying to limit myself on social media. Just coming home, turning off my phone, making something for dinner, just hanging out with Ben, watching television, playing with Blueberry in the yard, just, nice and calm and cool, chill. Now it's beach season. Now I will go, in the evening, I'll just if I can't make it to the beach during the day, I'll go in the evening. I'll sit by the rocks at Fort Fisher just to hear the water, just to level myself off. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So would you say this is the thing that will
Yeah.
bring you the most chaos? So if you put this aside and silence
Yeah.
it, you that's
100%. I just put it on
okay.
vibrate, and it's people are like, "Well, I can't get
Okay.
up with you." I was like, "Well, I lived there back in, 1980s, 1990s when we had a phone in the kitchen. If you didn't get a hold of somebody, you couldn't get a hold of them. You'll see 'em whenever you see them. I kinda miss those days. We're in the day of technology, you always have to be on call. You always have to be, and I found out if I'm not, the outgoing, funny person that I am every day, people are like, "So are you okay? Are you okay?" But then I realize I'm fine, but I don't have to be on or funny every single day, every single moment. I could
Yeah.
just have a chill day, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing you're going to put your phone on vibrate at a certain time every night and
Right.
you're going to think about Sundays being no tech or no phone
Right, no tech, no,
maybe.
yeah, no Facebook, no nothing, yeah.
Okay. So how do you think you're going to feel when you put all that in play?
I feel I know I feel great. I just know, because when you're on Facebook, there's so much negativity on there now. It used to be fun a couple years ago, but now it's people yelling at each other politically or this is this, and people are there's so much negative. People would rather focus on the negative. People would rather post stuff negative than being positive. You just need to get rid of all the negativity. And I'd rather, if I can control it, like I used to be a good, I don't want to say Facebook or Twitter fighter, because if I said something, I would reply. But nowadays, I'm like, it's just not worth it. Let me just scroll and not say anything, or just shut my phone off or not be on it anymore. You know what I mean? Because I would just rather be positive and just calm and cool instead of looking at all the negatives. Once you see all the negativity, you start feeding into it. And then, like, negative, if you just go down that rabbit hole, of negativity, and then here comes the chaos. A lot of the chaos is like, most of the chaos was my fault, but then it's like, if I can control my end, I don't have to worry about anybody else.
Yep. So
Yeah.
why is it important for you to guard your peace now?
Because I am in control of myself, and, like, if I don't guard my peace, I always say the past 4 years, I was taking care of everybody else. I was taking care of my dad while he was passing away, and then I was taking care of my mom, and then I was taking care of my brother, but all that time, I wasn't taking care of myself, my peace. I was filling everybody else's cup up when my cup was just barely like a shot. But nowadays, I'm like, you know I'm in control of myself, but, like, I've stepped away from helping everybody else. If somebody needs something, of course, I'll do what I can do, but, like, I gotta put myself first. Because if I don't put myself first, I will go down that rabbit hole out again. Because honestly, I'm lucky I'm still alive. I'm lucky I got through what I did, and, yeah, I just can't go down that hole anymore. Because I feel like this time I'm gonna get in the hole, and then I'm gonna be buried in that hole, just to be
Right.
honest.
Right.
Yeah.
So peace is a self-care strategy for you, but it sounds like it's more
Right.
than that. It's also like a necessity of survival for you.
It's a survival, yeah, and I learned the hard way, and, like, I don't wanna learn the hard way anymore, like, you fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I don't wanna be fooled twice. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So knowing it's so critical for you to protect your peace
Mhm.
and set your boundaries
Right.
and stick to them, however that looks
Mhm.
like for you, how are you going to know it is successful once you have all that in place? How are you going to know it's working?
I always know it's working because, like, I have a gut feeling. I have, like, this gut feeling, and I'll walk around, like, I'll have, like, the extra bounce in my step. I'll look in the mirror, and I had a fake smile on my face for the past 4 years, but now I can honestly say when I'm at peace, I'm calm, I can look in the mirror, I can recognize myself again. Because past 4 years, I looked in the mirror, I was like, I don't know this person, just because I was in survival mode. But then it's like, now I'm looking, I was like, I have a genuine like, I don't wanna cry, but, like, I have a genuine smile now, and that just makes me happy. Like, it gives me the chills, and I know my parents are happy to see, like, I have that smile again. It's like a genuine smile. Until you make it, but, like, I don't wanna fake it anymore. I'm tired of
No.
you know?
And
Yeah.
you have said, "I don't wanna cry twice," during this conversation when I've
Yeah.
had you, but you've
Right.
also said that you wanted to come on my podcast to kind of talk about how it's
Right.
okay for men to show that
Right.
side. So,
Yeah.
I hope that this is a safe space, so if you do feel like crying, just
Yeah.
let them flow.
Let loose. Let loose.
That's right.
I'm gay, and, we cry.
That's right. That's right, and
Right.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay to cry. Yeah.
Strong men and women, they cry
Right.
when they
Cry all the
need to,
time. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. It's emotion, you gotta let it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So knowing that, how you're going to feel is that bounce in your step. You're going to feel like you, and you're going to have that energy if you
Right.
protect your peace and you set
Mhm.
your boundaries and it's
Right.
working. You know how it's going to feel. Okay. So knowing all of that, what is one small step that you're going to take moving forward to get
Or
this to go?
keep my peace. It's just, like,
Hmm.
honestly, it's, like, day to day, it's, like, hour to hour. I know I just cannot let people into my life, or let, like, anything negative into my life that can, like, push me from the shallow end to, like, even the part of the deep end. You know what I mean? Because I'm in control of who I let into my life. I'm in control of my own feelings. I'm in control of my own thoughts, and I just can't let any kind of negativity or anything that's bad for me into my life, period, because it's either you or me, and I'm choosing me these days, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm. Yeah.
And I
Are
wish,
you
and I
going are when
go
you were
ahead.
saying something about like turning this off or not looking
Mhm.
at it or whatever, putting it
Right.
on vibrate, what's the one next small step you're going to do? Are you going to like not have it in your bedroom when you're sleeping at night? Are you going to put it in the kitchen and put it on vibrate? Like what would be the next like small step to do with that phone?
Right, because it's so easy to put on vibrate and have it on your nightstand because then you're like, "Oh, what's on vibrate? Let me just check." But yeah, I would literally, like, let it, put my phone in the bathroom so I could hear the alarm in the morning and just have it plugged in. Because that way I'm like, I've gotta get up and go to my phone, you know? And it's just like, as I said, social media and stuff is great, but, like, I miss the days of all of us just, like, hanging out with each other, talking to each other, but now everyone's like this on their phones all of the time, no matter where you go, and you're like people these days, like, "Oh, if I don't record it, I wasn't there," but, like, I remember back in the '90s, I have such vivid memories of being in the '90s stuff, but still remembering everything even though it wasn't recorded, you know? So, yeah,
We were present in the moment.
exactly, and I think as us humans, if we keep being on phones like this, I think we're gonna evolve, like, like, hundreds of years from now, are people humans, they're next gonna be like this because 'cause we're so
I
looking
know.
down on our devices and stuff, like,
And
how are we
it's
gonna
so not good for the double chin and the lines,
Right.
right?
Well, I saw, Amy Schumer, she's, like, a comedian, she says she has an
Yeah.
at-risk chin, so she's getting ready to have a
Yeah.
double chin.
I gotta watch that. But, there's actually yoga stretches that you can do now where they teach you gotta put your neck back into alignment because people do
Right.
the phone neck too much.
Mhm. Right, exactly. I'm just glad that we were raised and grew up when we grew up because we didn't have all this social media, we're out playing and stuff, like, we're, like, the last generation to be outside playing and, like, not looking at our phones and, like, interacting with people at dinner, so I'm very thankful, like, that we grew up when we grew up. Y
Gen X people, we know how to survive, we know how to live without
Exactly.
phones, we know how to
Mhm.
navigate. Okay,
Right.
so will you be up for maybe checking in, maybe in a month or a couple of weeks or however far in the future that you want to kind of tell us how you're doing? But I'd love to
Yeah.
hear how it's going with
Oh, of
this
course.
phone idea.
Sure, like 100%. That's why I posted on Facebook about my struggles with addiction, my struggle with grief, because I don't know, like I feel like I've had people send me messages saying, "Scotty, we know what you're going through. I just want to let you know you've helped me so much talk about your addiction issue because my son or my daughter's I'm going through it." Like I feel like I try to be an open book because I feel like I'm helping somebody else and not know I'm helping somebody else. You know what I mean? And if somebody could have an easier time with grief than I had, I wanna help you out because I don't want you to have to go through, like, what I went through the past 3 years.
Absolutely. Did
Oh,
anything about this conversation surprise you or maybe reaffirm your thinking?
it reaffirmed my thinking, and, I'm also, surprised, like, I've always been, like, an open book, I've always been outgoing, it's, like, very thankful for you because, like, this platform or even me having the chance to talk about it is healing me even further, so I appreciate you giving me this chance to come on your little podcast here and be able to talk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you for being so vulnerable and open as well.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Scotty, we're going to be checking in. I want to hear how it's going and keep us
Okay.
updated on Blueberry too.
Of course we will, she'll be 2 in October, and I just love her so much. Dogs are the
Mm,
best thing in the world. They are
they
really the best thing
are.
in the world.
They are. There are hearts
Wow.
outside of our bodies, right?
Exactly, they're angels, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep in touch and I'll
Okay.
follow up with you and I'm excited to see how your journey continues to unfold.
Of course, I appreciate you, Kendra.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Well, that's it for today's episode of the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle Podcast. And what I appreciate most about today's conversation is not only reconnecting with a high school friend, but also having an honest conversation about grief and healing and what it truly means to find peace again. Scotty reminds us that healing isn't a destination. It's a journey of small choices, honest conversations, healthy boundaries, and the courage to keep showing up, even on the hardest days. His story is a beautiful reminder that hope can coexist with heartbreak. Both can be true, and that slowing down often gives us the space to heal. Since we recorded this episode in May, he's been checking in with me every week. And, I'm not a clinical psychologist. I am not a trained professional in the area of mental health, but it's good to have an accountability partner and somebody you can check in with who's going to check in and say, how's it going? And remember what we talked about? How are you doing with that? And so he's been telling me when he's been able to stay off social media or stay off technology for the weekend. And the other day, last weekend, he told me he was able to stay off a day and a half. So that's progress, right? So if this episode encouraged you, inspired you, and/or reminded you that you're not alone, I hope that you'll share it with someone who may need to hear that today. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and leave a review and follow the Go Slow to Go Fast Lifestyle podcast wherever you listen. Your reviews help more people discover the show and these conversations. So if you've been enjoying it, you can simply encourage us. You can just say, keep going slow, or go slow and glow on. Whatever you want to say, I just hope that it will be positive. And until next time, please know the light in me honors the light in you. And as you head into the rest of your week, let your light shine through. Go slow to go fast. And as always, thanks for listening.